Hi, and thank you for watching today. My name is Iris Morgan. I am now a full-time Beachbody coach. My team name is Team More Gains. My husband and I team up together, and we help people every single day get started in their health and fitness, their personal development. They, live healthier lives, feel better about themselves, feel more confident, and we get to be a part of that. And so if you have ever heard of Beachbody, if you have ever, someone's invited you to a challenge group or invited you to be a coach, I just wanted to make this video today to share my story and then share a few points out of my story that maybe could, kind of hit home to you, or if you're already a coach, maybe you could share this with your team. So like I said, my name is Iris Morgan. I am now a full-time Beachbody coach. I joined in November 2014. Right now, at the time of making this video, it is September 2015. And so I've been a coach for about 10 months. I am currently a one-star diamond coach. I hit emerald in my second month as a coach. I hit diamond in 5 months, and I hit star diamond in 7 months. After 9 months of coaching, I quit my full-time job, and I'm now home with my son, who at this time is 4, and my husband, who works night shift at a manufacturing plant. And so those are my two big reasons right there why I signed up as a coach, because everyone has to have a reason why. They have to have a reason, why they said yes or why they wanted to join a challenge group. They have to have a reason in their life why they want to do something better for themselves. So I'm going to start kind of from the beginning of my story. I first want to let you know that I approached my coach. Her name is Jamie. You will hear some about her in this video. But I'm the one who approached her about coaching. Before I became a coach, pretty much the only things I knew about coaching were Insanity and P90X. I do not know how in 2015 I had not heard of all the other things that we have to offer, because they're everywhere. But I guess at that time, even before I was a coach, I didn't watch a lot of TV. I was not present on social media, and I must have just not had anyone in my life who used Beachbody products and programs, because I never heard of it, and it's just so crazy to me now. But I want you to know that before I became a coach 10 months ago, I didn't even know anything about Beachbody. And I joined as a coach because I saw the big picture. I saw my son, who, like I said, is 4 years old, and he's growing up. He needs me. He needs me to play with him. He needs me to be there for him. He's going to be starting school next year. And I want to be there for him. Where I was working, I had about a 45-minute commute each way every day. And so that takes an hour and a half out of my day alone, much less being at work all day. And I don't want sick days or snow days or, field trips and, holiday parties and birthdays and all that stuff. I don't want that stuff to be missed because I'm at work. And so when I signed up, my goal was to be able to do this full time next year in 2016 by the time he went to school. Well, as soon as I signed up, my goals quickly changed, because I saw the potential here and that it was possible. Another reason that, I decided to take this leap is that my husband works night shifts. He has a very good job, a good company, but it's just a seniority thing. He's on nights. He's going to be on nights for probably at least 3 or 4 more years. And he's not leaving. He's not going anywhere. So that is where he's going to be. And our time together is so limited every day, or it was. And so, I realized that his schedule is not changing right now. We just have to wait. He just has to wait his turn. So if I wanted something to be done, I knew that I had to do it. I had to be the one to make something happen. And so that is why I found Beachbody. Really, you could say Beachbody found me. Actually, the way it happened is that I have a neighbor who works with my coach, Jamie, her husband. And he, from time to time, would mention, a guy that works for Beachbody. Well, honestly, I thought he was making it up. Like I said before, I didn't know anything about Beachbody. It was not a real thing to me yet. I just didn't know. So I was kind of skeptical. But he would mention things about him and I would just kind of listen. I would be nice, but I would not really give it a whole lot of credit. At the time I was into CrossFit. I was like really, really into it. I really loved it. I never challenged myself, that hard before, physically or mentally. But at the same time, with our work schedules and the timing of the classes, it just wasn't working out. I mean, I maybe saw my husband for 30 minutes before he went to work. At that, sometimes it was less, or it was 30 minutes, but we were running around, trying to get his lunch packed, trying to get him out the door, and it just wasn't worth it. And so we decided to invest in some of our own gym equipment, some weights and things, and we set up our garage gym, which we love, and it's definitely paid off. We love working out at home. But, at first I was all excited about it. I was still going strong. I was doing really good. But as time went on, as you know, it's not always fun to work out by yourself. And so at this point, I was only working out 1 or 2 times a week, if that. There were some weeks where I wasn't really working out at all, except for maybe doing something outside, playing with my son, going on a bike ride, stuff like that. Sometimes that was my only exercise, like for the whole week. And so I was feeling down on myself. When you're young, I was very active as a cheerleader. I never really worried about what I had to eat. I was always pretty much the same size. I was never worried about my weight or my appearance. It just wasn't. So that's something about my journey that's different than a lot of other people, because a lot of people do have those huge weight loss transformations, and I don't have that. And so it took me a while to even figure out my story, because I thought, well, I haven't lost, 60 pounds or more, and so I don't have anything to tell anybody. But I do. Everybody does. My story is just different, but that's okay. But, after I had my son in 2011, I kind of went back and forth between about a 15-pound range, which for some people, that may not seem like a lot, but for someone my size, that's 1 or 2 pant sizes. And so that's very, very crushing. As you know, when you go into your closet and you go to pick out clothes and all of them are too small, or, more than half of them are too small. You may only have 1 or 2 pair of pants that you can fit into, or you may have to buy new pants that are bigger. I mean, that's crushing, when you've been in those same clothes for years or months or whatever. And then, you wore them a few months ago and now you can't. It's just, it's very discouraging. And so that's kind of the point where I was at. I was, trying to work out at home. I saw those pounds start to creep back on, and it was a slow thing. It wasn't fast, but over a few months, I started not feeling as good about myself. My clothes started feeling tighter, and I just didn't feel good. If you love exercise like I do, you know how good it makes you feel. And so I wasn't feeling that. It was very discouraging. But, I really wanted to get into a routine. That was my main reason that I found Beachbody, because I thought that it would help me get into a routine again. That's what I needed. I had decided I was working out at home because that's what was best for my family. But I needed somebody to do it with. So that's the time that Beachbody found me. I was feeling down on myself. I needed support. I needed encouragement. I just wanted so bad to stay in shape and not keep doing this flip-flop back and forth. So like I said before, my neighbor, he works with my coach, Jamie's husband, and he would mention things, about his friend at work that works for Beachbody, and I didn't know it was a real thing, and so I didn't really pay attention to it. But eventually, through the powers of Facebook, I'm not sure how she found me. I guess I've never really asked her if it was random or if she looked me up. But she added me as a friend. Now, remember that I was not comfortable with social media. I was not present on Facebook, and I may have only had 500 friends, if that. I deleted friends all the time. If I saw something that someone posted that I didn't like, I would delete them as a friend. I would reject friend requests. I would only accept if I really knew the person. So I saw her at me, and I knew who she was. And I just thought it was weird. I thought, why does she want to be my Facebook friend, when I don't know her in person? I just didn't know what she wanted. And so it took me a while to accept. I actually think it took me like maybe a week or two. Can't really remember now, but I finally accepted. And she immediately sent me a message. It was very friendly, but she just said, hi, thanks for accepting. It looks like you're also in health and fitness. That was all that she said. I read it and I thought, what does she want? And so I didn't respond. But the good thing is that I also did not delete her as a friend. I kept her as a friend, but I wasn't going to talk to her. I wasn't going to engage in conversation. I didn't know what she wanted. I thought it was strange. Also keep in mind, I still didn't know anything about Beachbody. I didn't know about Shakeology. I didn't know about the coaching opportunity. I didn't even know about 21 Day Fix. So it's not like I thought she was trying to sell me something. I just didn't know what she wanted. But over time, her posts started coming up more and more on my newsfeed. Okay, you know how that happens? Once you start clicking and liking on people's stuff, then it starts coming up more. And I can't remember, but I don't think I really liked or commented on her post. But I must have clicked on it to look at it because Facebook started showing it to me more. Now, over time, I started to watch more. I tried to ignore it, honestly. I thought, what is she doing? I had no idea. And so over time, they just kept catching my eye. And then I remember a very specific time. This must have been pretty soon before I joined, but I remember a specific time whenever she hit 5-star diamond, which is a pretty big goal. If you're in the business, that's a huge goal to hit. It's very exciting. But I remember her hitting 5-star diamond. I remember her showing her jacket with the stars down the arm, and I was like, what is this? And I remember her talking about her quarterly bonus where she earned $5,500 in 1 week. And I thought, what is this? I started to think, what is she doing? I don't get it. How does she make money? I still didn't know what Beachbody was, but that kind of made the wheels start turning. So then it came time for her next sneak peek. She did a 5-day sneak peek into coaching on Facebook. I do that myself now. But the post that made me ask a question was so simple, and I still remember it, and I'll probably never forget it. But it was just a picture of her sitting in her car, smiling with her shaker cup, of course, and she just said a few sentences about how she was working in her car while her daughter was at volleyball practice. It was a Sunday night, sitting on the couch, thinking about going to work the next day, which I wasn't excited about. And she just said that she didn't have to go to work, that she gets to work from home. And she was having a sneak peek into coaching if you want to know more. And I just had to ask. That was my point where I said, enough. I have to know what this is. And so I sent her a message. She added me into her sneak peek that night or the next day. And I was such a little nerd at that sneak peek. Every single day, I just could not wait for the video to be posted. And I remember at least one day I even asked her, I was like, have you posted the video yet? She's like, not yet. I'm like, okay, just make sure I didn't miss it. But I was so excited about it. It actually took me 3 days of watching videos to even have the courage to ask my husband about it. I think I just knew that this was exciting, and it seemed real, and it seemed like something I really, really wanted to do. So I finally asked him. It was not an easy conversation. There's a lot of reasons why, but he was kind of hurt because pretty much the whole time we've been married, he's always pushed for fitness, and he wanted to get weights, and he wanted to get all this stuff, and I never saw that it was important, and so I would say no. Well, then after I, did CrossFit and I got really into it, and then then it was important for me to get a gym. So now it's important for me to want Shakeology and for me to want to be a fitness coach. And so that kind of hurt him a little bit, I think. But, after time, after some discussion, we decided it was a thing to do. And I remember this. I have to tell you this story. I remember we were standing in the kitchen, and, just kind of looking at each other. And he looked at me and he said, now you realize if we do this, there's no more Dairy Queen. And I, of course, said, oh, yeah, I know. I'm ready for that, because I'm seriously like addicted to ice cream. And we have a Dairy Queen right across the street, unfortunately. And at that point, right before I signed up, we weren't doing the things we needed to do with our nutrition. I thought we ate healthy. I thought we ate healthy, but really we had a lot of work to do. I never realized how much processed foods we were eating until we started cutting them out. And I was like, wow, our pantry looks completely different. But it's amazing. I mean, it's in a good way for sure. But what he meant was, if I'm going to do this, I have to take it serious. And I have to be the example. Nobody's perfect. It doesn't mean you can never have a blizzard ever in your life, because yes, I've had some since I've been a coach, but they're few and far between instead of, 2 or 3 times a week like we were starting to do. And it was just, we knew we needed to change that. And so we decided to do it. If anything, what's going to happen? We're going to get healthier ourselves. And, we can see what happens with the business. Might as well try it out. Might as well see what happens. But I knew that I was not just going to see what happened. That was not an option for me. I knew that the second I signed up, I was committed. And that is the biggest part of my story, I think, that stands out as far as the coaching side. And I'm going to share more about this in my second part to this video that talks more about the business side, like if you are already a coach, or if you're really, really interested in the business side and you want to say, you want to know how I actually did it. I have some good tips for you in that part. But in this part, I'm still going to focus on my story. But I just want to tell you that, the second I signed up, I was serious. I did not waste a minute. I've worked my business, every single day. I never have a day off. Even if I just get a little bit done, I do something every day. And that's the most important thing. But I wanted to share, this kind of a long story. First of all, to let you know that everyone has a story. And it's taken me 9 or 10 months to even figure out my story. And once I finally sat down and typed this out, I was like, wow, I do have a story. I do have things that I can share with people, because there are a lot of other moms out there who are in the same spot I was. They just want to be in a routine. They just want to be healthy. They just want to feel good. They want to look and feel good in their clothes. They don't want to have to keep buying new pants that are bigger and bigger. They want to stay in the clothes that they've got. I'm there with you. They want to spend time with their family. They want to be the mom they want to be. I'm still not perfect. I still yell at my son sometimes. I still get annoyed. My patience is not always the best. Patience is something I really struggle with. But, there are things you can do in your life to make those things better, to make changes. But you have to be the one that makes the change. And I was at that point where I was ready for it. I was like, I have to do something. I'm ready for it. And so I have a few tips that I want to share with you from my story that can relate to some people that are already coaches, okay? So number one, I just want to remind you that people are skeptical. I was so skeptical. And it was just because I didn't know. I didn't know what Beachbody even was. I didn't know what it meant to work for Beachbody. I didn't know how you made money. I didn't know what the Shakeology stuff was. I just didn't know about it. And so I was skeptical. Number two, people will ignore you sometimes. Ever happen? Happens to me every day. People ignore me or tell me no every single day. It's a guarantee. But you have to go for those no's, or that means you're not stepping out of your comfort zone. The more no's you get, it's almost like you're doing something right. Because that means you're talking to more people. You're not just sticking with the safe contacts. Oh, they're definitely going to go for it. No, you got to go out of your comfort zone. Number three, sometimes they'll come back around. I did. I ignored Jamie. I was skeptical, but I came back around on my own. By her sending me that message and then leaving me alone and just doing her daily task and sharing her life on social media, I watched and I came back around. Number 4, this is very important. You have to share what Beachbody is doing in your life. I remember those very specific things that I already shared with you that were happening in her life, real things, goals she was hitting, financial things. I mean, that's a big deal, that could be totally life-changing for people, for anybody. And so you have to share those things, and you have to be real and relatable and down to earth and all that. You can't just brag and throw at people's faces all the time. But you have to share what it's doing in your life, okay? It's more than just fitness. Number 5, even if people aren't liking or commenting on your post, they are still watching. I was that person. I was not about to talk to her or like her picture or comment on her picture, but I watched. I actually tried to ignore it, but it kept catching my eye. Number 6, relationships take time. All these things that happen with us, I don't remember, but I would say at least maybe like a 2-month span or more. It was, several months of, waiting to get the friend request accepted. Then I just had to watch, and then I finally took the leap. I sent her the message and I wanted to join. And so as much as you would like to think that you can just send a friend request, send them a message, and they want to be a coach the next day, or they want to buy a challenge pack the next day, it's probably not going to happen. It does happen occasionally, but it's very rare. And so relationships take time. You have to build that relationship on a foundation of trust, and you have to let them know and show them that you have genuine intentions of helping them in their life with whatever they want help with. Okay, number 7, not everyone knows about Beachbody. Don't know how, but I didn't know about Beachbody. Okay? So when you ask somebody if they ever heard of 21 Day Fix, they may really not have. I hadn't. So, just remember that sometimes you have to kind of put things in different words so that you don't throw those terms out there and scare people off, because not everybody knows what it is. Number 8, sorry. Not everybody likes social media. Social media is a huge thing, but some people don't like it. They just don't feel comfortable with it. They're not used to it, and they may also just not be knowledgeable. And so just keep that in mind. If someone's ignoring you, or they're, you see them in person and they're nice, but then they won't answer your message, maybe they just don't like social media. Okay, plain and simple. So you have to be, working your business online. You also have to be working your business in person. You have to be nice to people. You have to talk to people in person. You have to do, live events, even if you have to do them at your house. You have to do things in person to get, build up a community and get things going. Okay, now to number 9. Doing your daily tasks matters. And this is also very important, because by Jamie doing her daily tasks and just letting it fall into place, that is why I'm a coach today. She added me as a friend. She sent me a message, and she shared her life on social media. And she promoted her sneak peek. So really she did 4 things. But those things alone brought me to social media. She just kept doing the work, kept turning the wheels, and I came to her. Number 10, you have to promote your sneak peeks and your coach trainings. That's what made me, if you're not promoting these events and inviting people, they're not going to know that you're having them. People can't just know. And yes, you can't just blast people with invites like all day, every day, because then they're going to start ignoring them. But you need to have a schedule, and at certain times of the month, you need to be promoting different things. Are you promoting your challenge group, or are you recruiting? Whatever you're focusing on, you need to focus on that, and you need to invite. Okay. So I hope you learned something from that, maybe related to it. If you are a Beachbody coach, or if you are very interested in the business, I am going to make a part 2 to this, and it's going to share more about the business aspect and my top 10 things that I feel like really got me to diamond so quick. And believe me, people have done it quicker. 5 months is, a pretty average time. But, how did I get to diamond so quick? when I had no background, no social media experience. This was all new to me. Beachbody was new to me, and I still got to Diamond in 5 months. You know, how did I quit my job in 9 months? How did I build a team that, you know, we all push forward? So that's what I'm going to share in part 2. Thank you for listening to my story today. If you have questions, I would love to hear from you. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Iris Morgan Fitness. My first name is IRIS. Thank you for watching. And if you want to watch part 2, I will have that up as well. Bye.